Hello and welcome to my first ever Roblox cheer uniform design tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use paint.net to create your favorite cheerleading uniforms in Roblox. The only things you'll need for this tutorial is paint.net, which is completely free to download, your own custom drawing template, and your own custom uploading template. There are blank creating and uploading templates in my Discord server, which I'll leave linked in the description. I've been designing since about 2021 when I first took an interest into cheerleading, so I wanted to create a tutorial for everyone to follow so they're able to create uniforms of their own. Without further ado, let's get into the video. When you open Paint.net, the first files you're going to want to open is your blank drawing template and your two reference images. I usually like to have the front and the back of a uniform open. You're always going to want to work on different layers, so make sure you're adding a new layer for every line or shape that you draw. For colors, you can click K on your keyboard to color pick from your reference. For black or white, make sure you're using a lighter shade for shading purposes. I like to use my black color and increase it to 11. Now that you have everything open, you can click Ctrl and then the plus sign on your keyboard to zoom in. You're going to want to go to your toolbar and click the circle tool to start the neckline. For the collar, I decided to increase my line size by 8. Now you're going to want to click and drag your circle so it's slightly visible below the line in the middle, so it's slightly visible on the torso. Use the select tool to select the circle outside of the box, and you're going to want to cut it in half. Next, click Ctrl C on your keyboard, create a new layer, Ctrl V, and then layers, and flip horizontal. When you do this, make sure you move it over twice with your arrow keys to the right. Make sure you merge your layers down and then select within the box. Now you're going to want to copy and paste the top of your head and paste it onto a new layer and then move it over to the box on the right. Make sure it's within the lines. Now you're going to want to go to layers and then flip vertical and move it right back up to the box. Use the select tool to deselect your selection so you can create the back of the neck. Using the line tool, make sure you cross over the middle and create a line just like this. Cut your line using the select tool and the scissors by using the color guide, copy it onto a new layer and paste it. Go to layers, flip horizontal, and then drag your new neck thing over. Now that that's all done, you're going to want to go back to your reference and trace the lines so you have them exactly as it is in the picture. Once you do this, feel free to readjust your color if you see that it is necessary, like I do in this clip. Then you're going to want to select everything outside or on the line, and then Ctrl C, paste it onto a new layer, flip horizontal, and then move it over twice to the right with your arrow keys. You're pretty much on your own for figuring out what shape you want. You do the same process with pasting it onto a new layer, flipping it horizontally, and then moving it twice to the right. So you can just follow what I'm doing. For this next part, you're going to want to pay close attention so you don't mess anything up. Make sure you're drawing this line behind the other layers so you're not having any overlapping, and pretty much repeat the same process of flipping it and etc. You're going to want to select the entire line in this next part that you'll see and hold the shift key down and rotate it so it's completely straight on one side. Make sure you're copying and pasting it so this is possible, so there's two of them. What I like to do is add two little markers on the corners of the boxes so I know that it's completely in the right spot, and then you can just erase the markers afterwards after you've rotated it and everything like that. You're gonna be able to erase your markers once you've done this, but I actually made a mistake, as you'll see in the next clip, so I'm gonna have to redo my markers and move it over to the left box where it belongs, so make sure you do that when it shows you to do that. But before I move it, I actually start drawing the arrow shapes, so you can just follow what I'm doing in this clip. And you can just keep following your reference and draw the line out as it's shown in the picture. Is done, you can start actually coloring in, so make sure you increase your color by 2, like make it 2 lighter than the black was in the line out, and then you can just start coloring everything in. You'll notice that I started coloring it in wrong, so in the next clip I'll actually go back and fix it and I'll show you what I do instead. So color it like this. I just did the sleeves kind of backwards. This is actually the part that I do wrong, but basically for the mesh, you're just going to want to lower the opacity. I used 155 as my marker, and you're just going to want to kind of fill everything in, but in the actual uniform, this part's supposed to be black, but it's still, you'll see me fix it. So yeah, this is basically, and then you just erase all the parts where the mesh isn't supposed to be. Don't worry, I'll show you how to shade. I just realized the mistake way too late. So this is me basically fixing it. I color picked and then just filled it in behind the mesh layer so everything could be correct. I just erased where the mesh or the black was and the mesh was supposed to be, and I replaced it with mesh from behind the layer so the mesh shows up and isn't overlapping the black. Okay, here's where I show you how to shade. You're gonna wanna click the black and white color button so your color is a solid black, and then you're gonna basically follow the outline that I do. You're basically just tracing the lines that are already there, but just for safe measures, like check out what I do and follow it. The next thing you're going to want to do is double click on your layer and then click blend mode and then change it to overlay. Then you're going to go to effects, blurs, and then Gaussian blur, and then change the radius to where the shading looks appropriate. Next, you're going to want to start erasing all of the shading where skin would be, so anywhere on the stomach, under the legs, on the arm, anywhere where there shouldn't be shading, you should be erasing the black shading so it doesn't show up on your Roblox character. Next, I do some little additional bits of shading by just adding small black lines. I do it separately, so I'll do it once on the black, the solid black, and then once on the mesh. Again, this is me doing it on the wrong one, so it would be the opposite if you're doing it the right way, or you could just fix it out of order. But yeah. Just make sure you're erasing all the shading when it's appropriate and anywhere where there would be skin. Is wrinkles, so you're going to want to draw black lines all over in a very small brush size, and basically there's a plugin that allows you to smudge it, and I will link that in the description if you want to do wrinkles. Wrinkles are completely optional, you don't have to do these at all, but I just think it's a cute touch for uniforms, so yeah. Here is where I start smudging, so basically I just lower my brush size and drag them out, and yeah, so you basically just do that until the next part. Once your smudging is all done and looks a little bit like this, you're going to want to change the blend mode to overlay again and blur it just a tad bit. Then you're going to copy it and then place a layer under it and paste that, and then change the hue and saturation to completely white, and then you're going to move it up to and then overlay that as well. And then you can merge them together and lower the opacity of the entire layer by double clicking the layer and just changing the visibility. Next is white shading. It's almost the same as black shading, except you kind of just get to do whatever you want and put highlights wherever you want, more so like where highlights would be like in the middle of spaces. So yeah, you can just kind of follow what I'm doing, and it's the same thing with overlay and then Gaussian blur and erasing it afterwards. Here is me erasing it, and I will show you how to do the little like raise logo in the next clip. I got this logo from Google. I'm using the magic wand tool and holding control on each of the letters just to make sure I just select the raise and not the outline. And then I'm going to copy and paste that onto a new layer on this one and then shrink it down so it's the right size. And then afterwards you'll see me deselect that and then change the hue and saturation so the whole thing is black. And yeah. You're going to want to copy and paste that raised logo under it, so make a new layer underneath and then change it to completely white. Use Gaussian blur just to make a little bit, like a little tiny bit of a blur, and then copy and paste it a bunch of times and merge it all together so it looks like one whole white. After that, you're going to want to copy and paste your white and make it gray, like a new one underneath, and then go to sepia, and then put it all the way, and then you're going to go to adjustments, hue and saturation, and just sort of try to color match it to the color that you want it to. In this instance, it's like a pinkish purplish, so yeah, you'll see me try to do that in this clip. I'm speeding the detailing up just because it's pretty self-explanatory. I got, like in the picture, it's purple, or no, it's like pink and blue sparkles, and you just kind of place them all over. I used brush size 2. Usually I use the pencil tool, but since in this uniform the rhinestones are so huge, I just use the brush tool. And I just kind of sprinkled them all over, so if you want a more in-depth, like, explanation into how to do, like, more details, I can do one of those videos, but it's pretty self-explanatory and I think you got it. That is pretty much the end of the video. The uniform turned out so pretty, as you can see in this clip, and if you want me to do a tutorial on how to upload it, I would be happy to. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!